This took about 70 attempts and 4 hours of non-stop pain. Alright, we are back to me, the current me, the one doing the voiceover. So I'll be honest, I feel like I've been saying this a lot, but this fight was unbelievably hard. The brightest doesn't even compare to how difficult this was. It took me a while, like between the recording of the first part and this part, I spent like 12 hours at least over the course of a few days trying to learn and master this guy's moveset. And for phase 1, I can definitely 100% say that I have mastered the moveset of phase 1. Phase 2 however, that's a different story. Phase 2, if I got put back here in this position, I don't think I could beat it. I'd need a lot more practice because phase 2 is a hot mess for me. I'll say this though, it's a damn good job that they did with this boss, because this boss is fucking amazing for every single point. I think playing it on this playthrough, the BL4 playthrough, under these restricted like settings, has made me appreciate this boss a whole lot more. I loved this boss already before on a normal playthrough, but playing it with low health and no damage, where I have to have a lot more time with him, it's made me come to appreciate just how fucking well made this boss is, truly. I had come close quite a few times up to now, but my heart was always beating fast, and even this time it was probably beating faster than it ever had in my whole life. So that is Ludwig down for the count, the toughest boss so far by a country mile. Now that he's down, honestly any boss seems feasible at the moment. Here I am going to get Lawrence's skull so we can take on Lawrence in the future. On to the next area. Firstly though, I thought I'd take this time to show you what I'm rocking with in terms of damage and blood gems. Not really a massive blood gem enthusiast, I don't know too much about it, but those were the ones I got from killing the Winter Lanterns in the Nightmare of Mensis a few times. So for the living failures, you may be wondering, yo, what the hell are you doing with the full beast blood meter already? Well, if you know about the beast blood preservation tactic, then you know how I'm doing that. I'm doing it because it is a long fight, they have a shit ton of health. They're also pretty deadly. I've died to them a few times in the past, even though they're kind of considered they are considered an easy boss, but they are still tricky in some ways. Especially with the amount of vigor that we have on a BL4 character, you have to be pretty damn careful when maneuvering around them. You gotta make sure they don't one tap you or string you together in a combo. But this fight, it definitely is manageable. I think after all the pain I went through with Ludwig, I deserve this. I don't want to go through anything like that again, but I have heard some scary things about Lady Maria, about Lawrence, Orphan, German, so I'm not looking forward to them, to be honest. But they're the living failures. They go down and we move on to bigger things. Lady Maria, the fan favourite. I spent about 4 hours and probably 100 attempts going after her. She was very damn difficult, I can't deny that. Her agility and speed caused a lot of trouble for me. Despite my hardships with her, it didn't feel that painful. It didn't feel like 100 tries, it didn't feel like 4 hours. It felt like a very quick time. I did do it in one night, but it was pretty fun. Great fight, of course. It's one of the best in the whole series. There were some dodgy hitboxes and annoying after effects with her fire attacks, but we overcame that and we did manage to best her.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
So for the actual fight, let's talk strategy. So we enter the room, we put our buffs on, and it's just a dance. It really is just a dance. You attack a few times, then you dodge, and you attack some more. Because in the first phase, her poise can be broken just like that. She's like a punching bag. Am I using that correctly? In the second phase, however, things get a little bit more tricky. Not too tricky, but I'd say what I did, I'd attack once, then I'd dodge. Attack once, then dodge. You want to keep to that one attack rule. You don't want to overcommit or you'll get fucked up easily. When you need to apply buffs again, just back away to the other side of the arena. She doesn't have a great way to chase you. And for the third phase, you just want to apply everything I said, but be very, very careful. The after effects on her fire attacks can really mess you up. Get some bone marrow ash, apply it to your weapon, and in between dead spaces of a moment, just shoot her, because you never know, that could literally win the fight for you. But that's Lady Maria down. Let's move on to the next boss. So Lawrence. How did Lawrence go? It went pretty well, to be honest. It wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it would be, mainly due to being able to semi-cheese my way through the first phase. I wouldn't call it a cheese, more like a taking advantage of an AI loop. So I'm playing the AI loop right now. It made the first phase of the fight extremely fucking boring. But the second phase was the real deal. When he drops his legs, we got a fight. Man to beast. Classic Bloodborne fashion, just on BL4. It was extremely tight when it came to spacing. I had to really consider where I was standing, especially when he started his combos. You gotta know where to be after he finishes it so you can get your punishes in. So for the attacks with his short arm, you would dodge late, and the attacks with his longer arm, you dodge early, just to make sure you have your timings down, because it just really get nerve-wracking when you get in his health bar closer to the end. With all that said and done though, we take down Lawrence and our list of bosses becomes ever so shorter. Ladies and gentlemen, we're closing in on the end, but that doesn't mean we can relax, because we still have a few daunting challenges left. If there was a fight that I already knew before even starting the playthrough that I'd struggle a shit ton on, it would be this fight, the Orphan of Cause. Some say the hardest boss in Soulsborne. Usually in my other playthroughs, when I get to Orphan of Cause, I would definitely consider myself a bit over leveled, but of course in a Blood level 4 playthrough, such a thing cannot be. So the name of the game when it comes to Orphan of Cause is backstabs. You have to be damn good at backstabbing. You have to be like Griffith from Berserk levels of a pro at this. Did I spoil anybody? Sorry if I spoiled anybody. Since I'm not obviously the greatest player, I could only backstab a few attacks. However, whilst I was doing my research, aka looking at other people fight him, I didn't realize how bad this guy is. Like, you can backstab, you can punish almost every single attack. That's amazing. I mentioned it during the 1v1 fight, but seriously guys, the amount of stuff I've learned during this BL4 playthrough, it's been so eye-opening. For sure I need to have a crack at another game's base level challenge. Maybe Dark Souls 3, I feel like that would be the next step. For those wondering, no, it wasn't the hardest. Ludwig was definitely harder, much harder. That doesn't mean he was a pushover, however, he was still extremely tough. I spent about 100 attempts just figuring out which attacks I could punish. It really was 0 to 100 when it came to knowledge on the fight. I walked in and after a few attempts I thought, what on earth have I walked into? I have no idea how I'm going to get through this one. But after learning which attacks I could punish and which I should stay away from, I slowly got the groove of things, and then I produced this attempt. This masterpiece. This really is, it's unbelievable that I've done this. This playthrough is to prove to people who think they can't do it that you can do it. I fucking suck at these games, so if I can do it, you can. But after minutes of backstabbing the shit out of him, we finally take down the Orphan of Cause on Blood level 4. All we have is German and the Moon Presence left. Let's get this done. Here we are at the end, German the First Hunter, my good old pal. It's a sad fight this, with the lore implications and just with what we've picked up among the story. This is a fight, two hunters pitted against each other. One dies whilst the other returns to the real world. Lore experts, am I right, am I wrong? Anyways, about the fight itself, the main strategy is parrying. You gotta parry the fucking wheels of this dude. If up until now you haven't learned parrying, well, firstly, how the fuck have you been playing the game? And secondly, now's the time. You really need to learn parrying for this fight, especially on BL4, because it makes a world of a difference. Another thing is always dodge after a few attacks. Don't get too greedy. It is kind of like a dance like with Lady Maria, not to that extent, but you will be dodging a hell of a lot in this fight. But you've made it this far. You've beaten the likes of Orphan of Course, Lady Maria, Ludwig, Lawrence. You should have minimal trouble here. We've done it guys. Stand proud. We've completed this run. We've absolutely destroyed the list of bosses that we had to take out, and we can... Oh shit, the moon presence, I forgot about you. So if you made it through that gauntlet of bosses, then you really should have no difficulty with this boss, the moon presence, despite the gameplay being shown. Just don't play as if the victory has been handed to you. Still put your guard up, don't let her walk all over you, and you'll be fine. Instead, I'd like to take this time to talk about the challenge as a whole. Should you attempt a BL4 run? My answer would be yes. Yes, you should. If you love Bloodborne like I do, then a BL4 run will do wonders for you. You gain a deeper understanding of any boss's movesets and their mechanics, as well as just the combat in general. You learn a ton of fun strategies and different approaches that honestly you probably wouldn't think about on a regular playthrough. Being under these constrictions can just be a light bulb for you when it comes to certain bosses. It'll show you a new way of fighting them that you'd have never thought of, and you can take this approach and place it into a new playthrough, the next playthrough that you do. Would I rush to do one of these again? For Bloodborne, probably not. Maybe a different game, but probably not Bloodborne. I think Ludwig has done some permanent damage to my psyche. But yeah, that's the video done. The game completed. This challenge over. If you enjoyed the video, enjoyed both parts, please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment of what your thoughts were, and I'll see you next time. Peace.